Hey friend, welcome to the Rauch Report. When Hitler and the Nazis took power in 1933, they wasted no time taking over Germany's media. They shut down and seized independent outlets and opposition newspapers. Strict censorship laws ensured only Nazi-approved content made it to the public. At the center of it all, Joseph Goebbels, who led a massive effort to flood the press with pro-Nazi messaging while silencing anyone else who disagreed. This total media control didn't just spread their ideology, it helped tighten the regime's grip on Germany and crush opposition before it could even start. With newspapers, radio, and film all under Nazi control, the public was fed a steady diet of propaganda, making it harder to hear or even imagine an alternative perspective. Dissenting voices weren't just censored, they were completely erased, leaving the Nazi narrative as the only one available. This control over information became one of the most powerful tools in solidifying Hitler's rule, showing just how dangerous a manipulated media can be. Now let's fast forward to March 14th, 2025. Donald Trump brought up major news outlets during his speech at the Department of Justice, calling CNN and MSNBC, which he referred to as MSDNC, political arms of the Democrat Party, and claimed that they're illegal.
And these newspapers are really no different than a highly paid political operative. And it has to stop. It has to be illegal. It's influencing judges, and it's really changing law, and it just cannot be legal. I don't believe it's legal. And they do it in total coordination with each other. Now, as the chief law enforcement officer in our country, I will insist upon and demand full and complete accountability for the wrongs and abuses that have occurred.
This is a man who wants to make independent media illegal. And in Trump's perfect world, Fox News, Newsmax, and other far-right outlets would be the only news sources available to the public. Any opposition to wannabe dictator Trump would be shut down and barred from sharing accurate news to the general public. And make no mistake, opposition is a bitch for Trump. He does not have the mental capacity to receive criticism, which has been proven time and time again over the last decade. This is why he envies none other than Vladimir Putin. Putin has passed laws imposing prison sentences for journalists who present knowingly false information, which is likely factual information, regarding the Russian military, specifically due to the invasion of Ukraine. Putin also led the force to close multiple independent news sources in Russia because of them calling out the government. The Russian government took legal action towards journalists whom they decided were spreading false information, sound familiar, or were acting in extremism. Now I want you to take a moment now and close your eyes. And as hard as I'm sure it is to picture him, imagine little itty bitty baby Trump and think about all of the times he has directly attacked the independent press. Now think about why he attacks. He attacks when a journalist or news organization criticizes him or acknowledges that the actions he has taken are dangerous and continue to be threatening to democracy. Now imagine how much better life would be for him if all of that criticism ceased to exist. The public would no longer receive the facts because, make no mistake, the shit that he spews out of his dirty mouth are not facts. All he does is lie.
On their cover like 14 or 15 times. I think we have the all-time record in the history of Time magazine.
The audience was the biggest ever, but this crowd was massive. Look how far back it goes. This crowd was massive.
I guess it was the biggest electoral college win since Ronald Reagan. Obamacare covers very few people. The fake media goes, Donald Trump has changed his stance on China. I haven't changed my stance. Now, the Paris Agreement, they all say it's non-binding. Like hell, it's non-binding.
That was a video from, I think, 2017. So just from the precipice of his first term, you could make a book out of the amount of things that he lies about. And now I want to talk about what happened on March 14th. Trump placed over 1,300 Voice of America employees on leave effective immediately. Now, you may or may not have heard of VOA, but its importance is indescribable. Voice of America was established in 1942 as a government-funded US-based broadcaster. And stay with me, this is important, I promise. Its main goal is to deliver unbiased, factual information to global audiences, particularly for countries and regions that lack a free press. Examples of this would include, among others, Russia. VOA plays a pivotal role in ensuring that these global audiences receive accurate and unbiased information and to counter disinformation. Now, think about what we just talked about. Who is the leader of disinformation in the United States? Donald Trump. Trump shut this unbiased, fact-based news system down not because he wants to save money, but because he wants to control the narrative. The dangerous narrative that allows people in the US and abroad to access factual information regarding him and his administration. As of now, Trump is unable to shut down corporately owned media and independent media, but for him, this is just the beginning. He declared CNN and MSNBC illegal because that is what he really believes. He believes that these news outlets should be illegal because they fact check him and don't allow him to get away with lies, disinformation, and illegal endeavors like a Fox News will. These outlets and independent media like Brian Tyler Cohen, Midas Touch, and others allow the real news to get to the public. If you think that VOA is the beginning and the end, you are sorely mistaken. Trump will take every measure that he possibly can, illegal or not, to suppress the media and take away rights that media networks have to report the news, whether it's in his favor or not. He looks up to dictators like Hitler and Putin because he envies them and he would like to be them. Remember how we talked about Hitler controlling the media and how he had independent news agencies shut down because they reported facts. Trump is taking a page right out of Hitler's playbook, and this should be deeply concerning. Yet somehow we have congressional leaders like Chuck Schumer just caving in and letting Trump continue to take dangerous control of our government by passing faux spending bills that really just allow President Musk and his First Lady Donald to continue ravaging the government until we are as dysfunctional as Russia. With all of the dangerous lies being spun up by the dictator in chief, here is a fact. This is no longer a conversation of left versus right or Democrats versus Republicans. This is a conversation of democracy versus fascism. The situation that we are in right now is good versus bad. There is a good side. AOC, Bernie Sanders, Jasmine Crockett, and others who actively fight for the safety of our democracy. So what are you and I going to do about it? Because we have to do fucking something. You can call your congresspeople at the state and federal levels, which I try to do daily. You can protest peacefully, obviously, to make it clear to our congresspeople and the president and his goons that we, the people, do not support this. And right now, a lot of people are consistently letting us down. And I know that it feels like there is nothing we can do, but we have to be loud and encourage our congresspeople and those in the public eye to be louder, because that is the best way for us to make our voices heard and prevent Trump and his posse of incompetent fools to continue to overthrow our nation into the gutter. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen, friend. And new shows are coming every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can listen to this show on YouTube or Spotify, Apple, or wherever else you get your podcast. You can also listen to Quick Bite, which is a daily briefing of the largest stories happening in the US. That show comes out every single day. I'll see you later, friend.